Some of the most notorious fugitives in the world recently brought to justice. Of course, you start with Osama bin Laden. He spent more than a decade hiding from authorities before he was shot and killed in Pakistan in 2011. Mob boss Whitey Bulger, he was on the run for 16 years before he was eventually captured in Santa Monica in 2012. And back in February, Mexican drug lord Joaquin Guzman, also known as El Chapo, was taken into custody by Mexican authorities near Mazatlan. Guzman is the head of the Sinaloa Cartel, the #1 supplier of drugs flowing into the United States. But Guzman's arrest is raising some serious questions. For one, is this really El Chapo? And if so, how were police able to arrest him without a single shot being fired? Tonight, we talk with a filmmaker whose new documentary hopes to answer some of those questions. It's been 6 months since the world's most powerful drug kingpin was taken into custody. But many in Mexico and the United States have serious doubts about whether or not authorities got their man.
And when have you ever seen a news story like this where a colossal fugitive is taken in and we're not quite sure it's him?
Documentary filmmaker Charlie Min traveled to Mexico to try to answer that question. His new film, Is It El Chapo, is debuting nationwide on Friday. He says someone as dangerous and as powerful as El Chapo could easily have faked his own arrest.
When you have that much money, you can do anything. You could buy anything. You could buy your looks. With Chapo Guzman, he's so smart that you just can never tell. You never know with this man.
Min's film looks at whether he was protected by a corrupt government or even by his own people. Guzman's drug empire is just as large as his popularity within Mexico.
In this fake war against the drugs?
Here we have a man who's responsible for possibly 80,000 dead Mexicans, but yet a lot of people in Mexico love him. That would be like the state of Arizona loving Jared Lee Loughner.
But the underlying question remains, is this really El Chapo? And if he's really that dangerous, how was he captured without any bloodshed?
To be taken down without one gunshot should tell you something right away.
You're not going to tell me that a man with that much power, that much ammunition, who supposedly has 200 armed guards surrounding him, goes down in such a weak way. If this wasn't honest arrest, then I think the reason why there was no gunfire was because he didn't want his family killed.
The film El Chapo debuts tomorrow night at Harkins Valley Art Theater in Tempe. It runs through next week.